Last night, the Vancouver Canucks played the Los Angeles Kings in the Staples Center, the first game for the Canucks on the road and the first game that they did not win. This game was not all that different from all the others though, as the Canucks, they did come back from 3-0 down to tie the game. That is something that has happened quite a bit this season, these comebacks in the third period and whatnot, especially a comeback from 3 down that happened against Carolina in, I think, the second game of the season. We won that one in overtime. Or, was it overtime? Yeah, it was overtime. The first game was the shootout, second game overtime, right, yeah. So, some thoughts about this game from last night. I liked the start of the game. Like, the first few minutes, the Canucks had a lot of possession, they were strong, they had some really good chances, and Budaj was just very good. One chance in particular, Goodbranson had the puck at the point, and he took a wild, just swing and a miss right at the net, and Sutter had a very good chance to bury it, but he didn't. Budaj was just very, very good in that first little span of time. Budaj was actually great the whole game, despite giving up 3 goals after the Kings scored 3. Horvat had some strong plays in that first little segment of the game, and an unfortunate turn of events leads to that LA goal at the beginning. Henrik was kind of caught off guard. Spiza, he had his man, he was alright, but just some open space for those Kings players. Opens up a spot, and Markstrom, he was very frustrated with himself that he didn't save that one glove side. So, that's the start of the game. Also noting in the start of the game, it really did seem like it was going to be a rough and tough game with no penalties, and the refs were just going to let everything go because things were getting thrown at each other. People were shoving each other and all that. There were a few calls that should have been called, but for the most part, there was just a big sense of, oh boy, the refs, they're going to let this game go. They're going to let all these players just go towards the, just go do whatever they want because they're not going to call any penalties. That's what it was like early on. But then eventually, they started calling more and more penalties. The Canucks had 6 power plays and the Kings had 2. It was just very odd referee performance right there. I remember another chance in the game. Budaj robbed Granlund. Now, Budaj, he was playing great this whole game. He robbed so many people. There was that Sutter chance early on, then there was Granlund also. Gauntz, I very much liked Gauntz in this game. He had some very strong hustle, and you could see just how determined he was to play out there. I loved Gauntz's game, especially in the offensive zone. In the offensive zone, he would dump and chase. He had a very good stride in his skating. He tried this one little move in the third period, I believe, where he tried to toe drag around somebody. It almost worked, but it didn't entirely, and I was just watching this yeah, I like your confidence, Gauntz. Gauntz, I'm happy that he's on the team. Also in the first period, Spiza, oh my goodness, Luka Spiza. You remember that play where Spiza was behind the net, he was under pressure, there were some Kings chasing him, he throws it right in front of the net, right to Kopitar or something, and Kopitar he shoots it a few times. Markstrom has to make 2 or 3 saves on the puck that's in the crease, because Spiza oh my goodness, Spiza just irresponsibly threw the puck right up the middle, tape to Kopitar. I was watching that laugh out loud, Lucas Spiza, oh my goodness. But still, Spiza's a part of the team, he makes mistakes, all the players make mistakes, but this is what I'm talking about, man. Some of these mistakes, they're more impacting than others, such as Lucas Spiza centering it tape to tape right for Anze Kopitar on nobody. Just Jacob Markstrom standing there trying to block that Kopitar shot in tight. But compensating for Lucas Spiza, we got Jannik Hansen, because Jannik Hansen, on this penalty kill chance, he clears the puck insanely well. Every opportunity he gets, he's able to clear it. He's good at clearing. I'm enjoying his game. And, there was back-to-back great defensive plays by Doughty and Goodbranson. The Sedins finishing off that penalty kill, they came in. Henrik tries to look over to Daniel. Henrik takes a little bit of a pass, and Doughty gets down on one knee, and he just shoves the puck away. And coming back the other way, The Kings take it back, and Goodbranson is there to break up a good offensive chance for the Kings as well. Just good defensive plays on that one little sequence by Doughty and Goodbranson. Then, of course, afterwards, it was 2-0 LA after an unfortunate misreading by Jacob Markstrom. Then Dustin Brown immediately gets another one to start the second. It's 3-0 LA. Everybody in Vancouver is just like, oh no. But then some people in Vancouver are just like, oh yes, this has happened before. I know what to expect. So, the game continues on. Budaj robs Birchie. That happens again. Granlund scores again. This was a very weird play. Hansen, he comes in, he's got a lot of speed. I love Hansen's responsibility with the puck. He knows what to do, he's a veteran. So he comes right in, he gets like hooked a few times or something, and he loses his footing. He can't take the shot off. So what does he do? He goes, crosses the goal line, swipes the puck back in front, and then Granlund is there to shoot it into the open net because Budaj, he was facing backwards. He was not in a good position. Not staying square to the puck, Budaj. You played great, except for that one play. But it was a very good play by Hansen, and I very much enjoyed watching that goal because the Canucks are back on the board. It's 3-1 LA. And immediately after, Larson, he has the puck. It's a power play. Larson takes a little bit of a shot, and it goes off the blocker of Budaj, I believe, right in front of Henrik Sedin. He taps it in. It's 3-2 LA. Larson has his first point. GG. Good job, Philip Larson. Gauntz continues to have a strong game at this point. He's working hard. He's very strong on the puck. I love his work ethic. Canucks get themselves another power play, and another power play, and another power play. They're just getting all these power plays. Doughty is amazing. He's destroying every chance the Canucks have at tying this game. And then I noticed that after like one of the power plays, I forgot which one, the Canucks started dominating after one of these power plays. The Kings were tired because they were on there for quite a bit, and the Sedins were on there, or I don't know if it was the Sedins or the Horvat line or something. They just kept on going at it, but alas, there was no goals. Braden McNabb, he gets a penalty after Nick Shore gets a penalty, and really the Canucks, they start out their 6th power play of the game. So McNabb, he's off for his 2nd delay of game penalty, 6th power play of the game for Vancouver, and Alexander Edler. Oh my goodness, respect your Edlers, guys. He has the puck, he's holding on to the puck, he walks right in, he shoots it, Louis Eriksson, fantastic screen. Big props to Louis Eriksson. Oh my goodness, what a game to watch. I was freaking out at this point. I was like, oh my goodness, this Canucks team is going to kill me because we're just doing all these comebacks and comebacks and comebacks. I kind of expect it by now, but it's still hockey, and I'm still a worried fan. Edler walks in and snipes it, Louis Eriksson the good screen, and overtime starts, and all I notice right here is the speed and the defense. Oh my goodness, we had some good speed over there. The Kings and the Canucks, and the defense, both teams played a good defensive, fast game, despite the Sedins playing, because, the Sedins aren't necessarily the fastest guys, but they did a few fancy passes, but they were all broken up by some good LA defending, and vice versa. And, I remember one chance, Toffoli, he comes in on the rush, he takes a big slap shot, Jannik Hansen style, and Markstrom has to make a good save with the blocker. And oh my goodness, I was freaking out when that happened. And then immediately after, on the next play, Henrik Sedin, behind the net, he cuts out in front of the net, he tries to backhand it rink wide across to his brother Daniel, yeah, we've seen that, but then he gives it away, Henrik Sedin with a bad giveaway in front, and the Kings try to take a shot, some guy, I forgot who it was, he takes a very precise shot, and it goes off the short side post. So yeah, Henrik Sedin, the captain, he got bailed out there by the Red Iron. There was a slashing call after the Canucks scramble with 1:16 remaining, and I remember Markstrom just stoning Doughty with the glove during this moment. It was a power play, overtime. The Kings have 4, the Canucks have 3. Doughty takes the puck at the point, he takes a big shot, and Markstrom just stands there, gloves it, that's it. That's it. It was a big wind-up and everything, a big, quick shot, and Markstrom's able to just get the glove on it yet. Like, man, I saved that. I saved that. Later in the play, Edler has the puck behind the net. You'd think he's gonna clear it. He sends it up ice, and Sutter, it's a 2-on-1, Sutter and Granlund. Sutter tries to take a shot, but Doughty blocks it. I was like, Sutter, man, please, score shorthanded. So, Markstrom makes a good save at the ending seconds of the game. Now it's a shootout. This is where the Canucks lose. They're not able to get one by Budaj. Budaj was amazing in this game. The Canucks have lost their first game of the season, and it was an overtime, or a shootout. So, basically, this game was bad in the first period. Other than the fact that we had some good chances, the goaltending, Markstrom, he could have been better in that first period, but I was really impressed with how Markstrom was able to step up later in the game. And Budaj, you know, despite letting in 3 goals, like, I think he had a very good game. That first goal that he let in, that was a fluke. It shouldn't have gone in. Second goal was a rebound. You can't do anything about that. Third goal, oh my goodness, that was a big screen by Eriksson. Budaj had nothing wrong in this game other than his positioning in the first goal, because everything didn't come down to him. I respect Budaj, man, that was a great game by him. The Kings, you know, the Canucks were saying, yeah, we didn't deserve to win and everything, but the Kings, you know, they had a good effort. And despite giving up 3 goals, I think they kind of did deserve to win that. Especially with some good defensive plays by Doughty and whatnot. So, you know, it sucks to see them lose, but they're not going to go 82-0. And it's fun to watch these comeback games, you know? The Canucks are playing the Anaheim Ducks today, later at 5. I'm not going to be making a pregame for that because it's a bit too late for that. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Plus, I'm using Trolls like and Gaming. And bye.